this lab we are going to work on modeling of the DC motor, and this is the first part of the task, modeling, which means that it is an extensive work and there will be 2 labs for completion of this task. Before we go into solving the manual questions, let us have a look at few terms and parameters which will be used repeatedly throughout the course of the lab, and we call it as the nomenclature, which are mentioned here in this table. Omega m is the motor speed, that is actually in radians per second, and this speed comes from the motor angle. The encoder gives us the information of the position of the motor and we can calculate the speed omega. Vm is the voltage that comes from the amplifier and it is going to derive your motor. That is why m is used as a subscript here. So this is the voltage from the amplifier. Td is basically the torque produced due to disturbance, the disturbance torque that is applied to the inertial load. Do you remember that I showed you a picture in last lab that there is a round disc connected at the end of the motor which moves with the motor. So if by applying external force by using our hands or by using some pen to stop that rotating wheel or just to create hindrance in the movement of that wheel, we can apply external disturbance. Then you see there is torque generated by the motor. So for disturbances you will see D written in the subscript, and for motor you will see small m written here. Then there is the motor armature current, the current that is experienced by this motor. Km is the motor torque constant, R is the resistance, and L is the capital L is the motor armature inductance. So these few are the quantities that or the parameters that we are going to use in the first half of the lab today. Now let us come to the plant model that is under discussion. So remember the block diagram of a control system. So plant in our case is the motor and the inertial load connected to the motor, whereas the input to this system is voltage Vm, and we just talked about Vm. It is the voltage coming from the amplifier and being fed to the motor, and the motor is going to move with the help of this voltage. The motor will be operated with the help of this voltage. Then there is another input, that is the disturbance created by hand or a pen or any object to create hindrance in the movement of the disc. So this is also an input, tau d, and output is omega m. Omega m is the angular velocity, right? So this is the mathematical model for the motor and inertial load. Now we have to derive the expression by some mathematics. Here, this is a blend of your course electrical machines and instrumentations. I think you have read this, the first principle of the motors. So the first point here is a very important principle, that the motor torque constant and the back EMF constant, they are both equal to one another. So KT is equals to Km. We are going to use this principle in the derivation coming forward. Okay. So the first question starts from here, that you have to consider a single current carrying conductor which is moving in a magnetic field, and we have to derive an expression for the torque generated by the motor as a function of current. Let's talk about it first. You have to provide the solution here in this provided space. Okay, I'll try to write on the screen. What about a current carrying conductor moving in a magnetic field? The force experienced is equals to F is equals to I, the current, L, the length of the conductor, and B, strength of the magnetic field. F is equals to B into I into L. What about the torque that is generated by this force? Do you remember the basic formula of torque? It is equals to R cross F, the force and the distance. So if you use the value of force from this equation here, you will find a relationship between the force and the torque generated and the current passing through it. So it will look like tau is equals to R I L B. So if you rearrange, because it is asked that we have to write the relation of tau in the form of current. We have to show a relationship between tau and current. So we can write tau is equals to R L B into I, right? And if we identify this term to be constant, because there is a specific value of R, the length of the conductor is fixed, the strength of the magnetic field is fixed. So we can replace it with some constant K tau or any value K. You can write any constant here. So you see that tau is directly proportional to the current passing through that conductor. Okay, this is the first part being asked in the first question. Then we have to derive an expression for the back EMF voltage produced as the function of the shaft speed. Now there is another relation of that is from the basic knowledge of machines, the relationship between the back EMF and speed. So the back EMF, if written as V, is equals to B into L into speed. अब मैं speed के लिए क्या लिखूँ? Back EMF, I am writing E in the subscript to show that this is voltage, and I am writing this speed V here as small v without any subscript. Also, we know that the angular speed and normal speed are linked to one another as R omega is equals to V. So if we replace this value of speed here in the first equation, you will see that back EMF voltage is equals to B L R omega. Can you identify this same value B L R omega just in the part 1? It was also, we just assumed this to be some constant, so we can replace it with Km or any value of K. So this is another constant, and now we see that back EMF voltage is directly proportional to the angular velocity. So if we compare the two, the next part of your question says, we have to show that both the expressions are affected by the same constant, which we have shown. So this is question number 1 of your manual. Now moving on to question number 2. A figure is given to you. This is a classic schematic of the armature circuit of a standard DC motor. That we can model your DC motor. You must have done so many exercises and examples in your electrical machines course from this. Okay, so in this classic schematic diagram of your standard DC motor, let's see, this is your input terminal where voltage is applied, Vm. Then there is a resistor connected in series with an inductor, and we are labeling the resistor as Rm and this as Lm. Here this is a symbol for your motor, and the voltage on this motor is represented as K omega m, and this is the disc connected to the motor which is moving with the motor. So this is the direction of the torque produced by the motor, and this is how your disc is moving. And if you stop it with your hand, it means that you are creating disturbance and the torque D is in opposite direction. And this load, since this is a load, so it must have some inertia, and that inertia is represented by J here. Okay, now you have to derive an electrical relationship that characterizes this standard DC motor. So for the derivation of that relationship, we have to apply the Kirchhoff law. What is the law? It says that V is equals to IMRM, the IR quantity here, plus your inductor. How do you write the voltage in the inductor here? L, value of the inductance into derivative of current passing through it, di by dt, plus this k omega value. Okay. So this is the equation that comes out of the schematic diagram, that input voltage is equals to I into R plus L into di by dt plus k into omega, right? The next step would be taking Laplace of this, because we have to eradicate this term of your derivative. So you can do it yourself. Please write in the next line, you have to eradicate this di by dt by using your Laplace transformation, and s will just simply replace this derivative. Okay, in this third question, we have to determine and evaluate the motor electrical time constant tau e. So if we draw the curve which tells that the torque generated, the charging curve for the inductor or anything, we calculate this value tau e to the 63% of the maximum value. So if this is the 63% of maximum, so the value of tau represented here at the 63% would be tau e. The relation between tau and current, tau and resistance and inductance is that tau e can be represented as L over R. So this is just a formula. You do not have to derive it. What you are supposed to do it, you have to find these values of L and R given in table A2, the table in previous lab, and plug in the values and calculate the value of tau. Okay. In next question, they say that if we assume tau e to be negligible, then we have to simplify the motor electrical relationship previously determined. If tau is a very small value, it means that if this is a small value, it means that our inductance is very low. So if inductance is low, it means we can ignore the value of L in the equation that we derived in the last question, which means we were writing V is equals to I R plus L S I plus K omega in Laplace domain, right? So if L is very small, we can neglect this. So the relationship is very simplified. V is equals to IR plus K into omega. So this is a simplified electrical equation. Okay, in question number 5, we have to talk about the total or equal moment of inertia. So what would be the total inertia of the system if I have to write J total as J is equals to the J equivalent, which is your inertia of the motor and the shaft of the motor, plus the inertia of the load connected right after the motor, so JL. We have to calculate these individual values and then plug in those values to this to calculate the total inertial moment, where J equivalent is given to us in the table A2. For question number 6, we have to calculate the value of this JL, and we have to do this calculation in question number 6. The JL is basically inertia of the load, and you know that load is a circular disk. For a circular disk, the formula of calculating the inertia is half into mass of that disk into square of the radius of that disk. So the value of mass and the radius, they are given to you in the table. You have to plug in the values and calculate the value of the inertia of the load, and then compute the total inertia by adding up the load inertia into the equivalent inertia of the motor. Okay, after this, now we have to derive some static relations. In this question, we have to assume that there is no disturbance, which means there is no tau d, and there is no friction as well. We have to determine the motor maximum velocity. What do you mean that there is no disturbance or there is no movement? It means that we can simply use this equation. I have written it somewhere, the Laplace of the equation here. It means that if there is no disturbance, there is no movement, it means there is no current passing through it. We have already ignored this. And if there is no current passing through it, this term is also equals to 0. So we have a direct relationship of voltage and K omega. For all the assumptions done in this part, that there is no disturbance, zero friction, so we are left with V is equals to K omega. So the maximum angular velocity omega would be, omega max would be V max, the maximum value of voltage divided by the constant. So you have to use these values from the table and calculate the maximum angular velocity for your motor. Okay, then we have to determine the maximum motor current and maximum generated torque. Okay, so for maximum current, you know that the equation of current V is equals to IR. V is equals to IR and I would be V by R. You know the value of resistance and you know the maximum voltage. So if you are calculating maximum current, put the maximum values of voltage and voltage here, and you will have the maximum value of current here. And for torque, you know that it is also a very standard relation, Ki. So put this maximum value of current just calculated from this equation to here, and you will have the maximum value of torque. Okay, during the in-laboratory session, you will be experimentally estimating the motor resistance. Beta, since unfortunately you are not doing the practical experiments, but I will show you how to do it in my video recordings. It means that we have to hold the motor shaft stationary. We have to by force stop it, very gentle pressure from your hand. So we are creating some resistance and we will be noting the value of speed in that particular case, and then we will average out the values and calculate the value of Rm. But for now, in modeling in this question, we just have to derive the relation of Rm. This experiment that I am talking about will be part of the next lab. So this is very simple, that since we are holding it stationary, and the equation was V is equals to IR plus, we are ignoring the inductance, and K omega. Okay. So if we say that this is stationary means not moving, which means that there is no omega, so the relation for resistance would be very simply V by I. So this is the answer of question number 3 here. Okay, then this question says that we have to assume that the motor resistance is known. We know the value of motor resistance, and now we have to derive an expression to find the value of Km. Okay, so this is the basic equation that we are following. We have to find out the value of K. It should be very simple, that V minus IR divided by omega is equals to your motor constant Km. Okay, ignore this question. We will not be doing this question. This is not included in the scope of this lab. Okay, this is the in-laboratory session, and for in-laboratory session, this particular figure here shows the screenshot from your software, that when we plug in the hardware, we see different values, we see different options here for modeling, speed control and position control in this drop down menu, and I've selected modeling here. These are the scopes that show the output, current and voltage, and these are the signal generator that we use to give a certain input to, that I am giving a square wave of amplitude 4.4 frequency as an input to my motor. And these are the values of the parameters that I can change. Okay. So this blue one is the actually desired output for speed, that what it should be practically, but the red one is what we are achieving for the input voltage being applied, shown here in this panel. So we want to use controller in such a way that this desired and actual values, they match one another. So we have been given the relation for omega, that is basically the transfer function of your system, that 1 by tau s plus 1 is the transfer function of your system, and omega is the output and v is the input. So if you want to write the transfer function as output over input w by v, it would be capital K by tau s plus 1. This is the transfer function of your plant. But I will be explaining them with the help of a video shortly. But for now, you have to complete the derivation part. Please answer the questions neat and clean, and take a picture of your solution and upload in the assignment portal for today's lab.